What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Josh, aka JK Fire from HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. And right now, I'm joined by a very, very special individual. It's Ske7ch Jarrard, the community director at 343 Industries. Ske7ch, how are you doing right now?
I'm great, Josh. Great running into you here, and thanks for sitting down and chatting with me.
Absolutely happy to. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous about this one specifically. We love talking to the 343 folks. As you can see, I'm already stumbling over my words. But I'm just going to get straight into it. I have some questions about the event for you and then a couple personal ones if you don't mind as well.
Let's do it.
All right, so first up, how has the event been going for you?
It's been awesome. I mean, I was in Raleigh, which was also great, but just being back in person, HCS, I think this event is even better than Raleigh was. It seems to be, the competition is fierce. I think it's maybe the most competitive event that I can think of, to be honest. I don't know about all time, but certainly teams are here to play. We've had amazing EU showings. Having a hometown team playing with a hometown crowd has been something really special. I'm now a KC Pioneer fan. I mean, how can you not be, right? So I'm always about coming out on the road. And for me, not only just the scene and the fans, but there's just a fraternity and a brotherhood in HCS. The fact that we have people that have been playing this long for this many years and they get together, it's just a family. And I like at least being able to be on the periphery and be a part of that experience, not just in the venue, but even outside, tonight and stuff. It's just a great experience, and I love the energy. We come back charged up for this and ready to launch Season 2 next week.
Can't wait for Season 2, by the way. That's going to be a fun time. Now, we just watched Sentinels versus Optic Gaming, and now I know you told me your prediction for who you think is going to win the event a little earlier before this, but I have to ask, we saw how that went down with Sentinels taking it in a 3-2. Has your prediction changed, or are you sticking with Optic?
I'm not going to waffle. I did predict that I thought Optic came here to win. They've been playing really good, so I'm still sticking with Optic. They got some work to do, but not. It's very easy to imagine them coming right back from losers bracket and closing it out still. Absolutely.
So I guess I'll just ask: has any player or team surprised you this event so far?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I have not really followed KC Pioneers really at all, so just really impressed. I saw some really great plays on there. Barcode is something that someone else I haven't really followed before, and I've learned a lot about him and just how impactful he is as a player. Like, the guy's out of this world, right? So that's been impressive to watch. And then just in general, like, I love the shared sense of excitement to see EU teams doing really well and kind of showing up. So just the whole scene. I think the bar, the floor keeps going up, the ceiling keeps going up. Just when you think you've seen it all, these guys are here to impress.
That's right. And that's what we talk about all the time, is that we want there to be the most amount of competition at the top as possible, because if we have so many more teams competing for that number one spot, it only provides more stuff for the viewers, more competition for the players, and that just grows the scene as a whole.
Yeah. Exactly, and with tons of respect for Cloud9, but also I would like to have a different champion this event, right? Because to your point, the fans need that. There's fans of all these different orgs want to see their teams do really well, and the competition, as long as it's fierce and people are playing great, it's been a great broadcast. So, I mean, we're all going to win in the end, but I'm hoping maybe not for a three-peat.
I can agree with that. Now, you and the team are the kings and queens of receiving feedback. I want you to give feedback now. You've been at Raleigh, okay? You come here to Kansas City, event to event. What has improved? What would you like to see improve further?
I mean, one of the things I've noticed the most, not really just in person, but in general, and I was talking to Adam Apicella on the Esports Engine team. I think the Observer Cam has been awesome at this event. I think it's noticeably better than what we had in Raleigh and even Anaheim. So that's been fantastic. I love the broadcast, the work that Tashi's team does, especially with some of the content creation. I really love the intros that were filmed, but I love this new room that they built, that black and white. Just there's been some great content packages here as well, which I really, really love. Love the venue. It's a little bit of an interesting challenge for the venue itself. It's kind of a strange configuration. There's only one way really in, but I think they've done a great job maximizing the space. Love the stage. That's kind of a cop-out. There's nothing I would say. I mean, honestly, I love the fact that the teams now face off, kind of face each other, right? Yep. If I had one area of opportunity I'd like to see for the next in-person event, and it's something we're actively talking about, I think there's opportunities to still make the VIP experience a little bit better, a little more special. And I know they're continuing to look at ways to level that up, and there's a lot of cool stuff being discussed for Worlds in particular. So, Worlds, we can pull out all the stops. It's right in our backyard. So big shout out really to the esports team and our partners for just constantly listening, learning, and trying to iterate and just keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. Everyone has been doing such an incredible job, especially, like you said, the HCS team, gathering that feedback like you guys do, acting on said feedback as well, like you guys have been as well, with Season 2 being released, this week. Technically, it's Sunday. My God, right. It's crazy. All right. Thank you very much. I have a couple specific questions for you now. All right. We're gonna start with the fun one, I guess you could say. Your iconic jacket that you wear on the community streams that take place. You wear it all the time. So I have to ask, do you have any other jackets? Do you wash the one that you have? Do you have multiple of the one that you wear?
There's only that one. No, technically, I sort of have the two iconic jackets because I've also got this old camo jacket that I used to wear back in like the Halo 2, Halo 3 era. Okay. I wore that when Joseph Staten and I did that video last year. But the one you're referring to came out a couple years ago. Consumer products team and the Halo Gear folks hooked me up with that. It's the only one I have. I don't really ever wear it outside of the streams. Okay. So I tell myself it hasn't really needed to be washed because it's just never really left those like little sterile environments. Sure. Plus, I'm actually afraid it might like fall apart or like the little pieces are going to come off. So right. I don't know. It's just become a ad hoc uniform of sorts. But yeah, I'm not wearing it here, right?
Okay, that's valid. But
lots of hoodies. It's not quite the same, right? That bomber jacket, though, by the way, I hadn't seen that before this event, and I'm a huge fan. It's a badass jacket.
Well, luckily, you can probably pick one up on gear.xbox.com.
I heard that. You're right. I think I'll go do that as soon as we're done.
Along with the Tenrai exclusive event stuff as well.
That's right. Sometimes it pays to know some people.
It also probably pays to work at 343 Industries as well.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Yeah.
All right, last question I have for you, and I'm going to read this one out. So as community director, you're listening to and gathering massive amounts of feedback from the Halo community, both negative and positive. How do you and the team keep heads held high and remain optimistic while sifting through all the feedback and providing updates to all the players?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to try to speak for other people and kind of how they deal. It's safe to say like community management in general is it can be rough at times. I mean, we're out there on the front lines. I think personally, the studios and the teams, the games that I play that I respect the most, that we try to also embody we want to have that open and honest, transparent conversation. But sometimes that means having honest conversations about things that people don't want to hear, and they're not going to like the answers. So I like to remind myself, and we all like to stay grounded. Like it all comes from a place of passion, which first and foremost, this sounds like lip service, but we're grateful and lucky to have such a passionate fan base, because I really do believe if it was just nothing but apathy and radio silence, I just think that would be worse. Like I'd rather be relevant and have people fighting over manglers and it's too strong, but it's perfect. And like, there's an energy there. And yeah, it makes it hard when we know we can't do what everybody needs us to do, especially as fast as they may want it, right? But it's also like, Ske7ch and I and the team, we take this responsibility very seriously. We advocate for our players. It's a big job to represent the players internally. And personally, that also means sometimes it can sting when we feel personally like we're letting down the players, right? It's just about, we got to stay grounded. We got to have perspective. I mentioned this to you earlier. Even coming out to these events is really helpful for us, just to get out from behind the computer and get off of social and get away from Reddit, because there's an energy and a vibe, and it's just wholesome and positive, and it just helps to remind you that a lot of people really love this franchise. A lot of people love this game, and not everyone's got the same sort of super negative takes all the time. But also want to add, most of the time, the grievances that we hear, like the negative kind of slanting feedback, which I would prefer to call constructive feedback, we generally agree with it. So it's, not everybody expresses it in the right way. It would be, there's a right way and a wrong way to get the point across. But it helps too, and we're like, yeah, they're right, and let's take this voice now, and let's go see how we can institute some change here. And I also just want to give a shout out. It's not just the community team. It's a studio-wide. It's part of the culture at the studio. Everyone truly strongly believes in having that player relationship, having those feedback loops going. We know that we wouldn't be here without the community, and also we can make this game as best as it can be in with that partnership, right? So it really is a shared value across the whole studio, and without people all throughout the development team who believe in it and want to do the best they can for players. Doesn't matter what feedback we brought in, it wouldn't change anything, right? So I think we're lucky to be in a situation where we all want that to happen. And to everybody I know who's had some challenges, who's been a little bit impatient, who's been frustrated, it's understandable. I think we've said a lot to try and acknowledge, but I will fully say I'm the first one to admit the time for words is kind of over right now. This team just needs to put our heads down. We know we need to go after. I'm very excited about where we're going, and it's going to take us a little bit of time, but I think next week will be our first big step forward. Really excited this week, as you said, for season 2. And there's a lot on the horizon. So I'm very optimistic and just ask folks to hang in there and be patient and enjoy Halo. And worst case, if you need to take a little bit of a break and step away, that's also perfectly fine and healthy. Right. So, yeah.
I think thank you for all of that. I think one of the things that what I've been seeing a lot online was like, where's the roadmap? Where's the roadmap? Where's the roadmap, right? And not only did we finally get a roadmap, but also you guys you in the studio have all been so much better. So thank you guys at communicating things that are happening. The season 1 outcomes reports that have come out, right? The 2 different blog posts that came out with that. All the stuff that you guys are just providing, the streams, that's awesome. Updates for season 2, that's awesome. And like you said, it's only going to get better from here on out. Yep. People have a lot of stuff to look forward to. And as you also said, there's a right and a wrong way to provide that criticism. So thank you for taking all that criticism, the good and the bad, and doing everything that you guys can to make this game the best it can possibly be.
Yeah, I mean, we're in this together, like I said, and I'm very confident that we will get there, and we can't do it without the players. So, I mean, we're just going to keep going at it together and, keep the feedback coming. I think we know right now what we need to go after. We've heard it. So, but, season 2 is going to unlock new feedback, new opportunities. There's new maps, there's new modes, there's just new things for people to experience. So even though we already have a roadmap and drop pods and things that we know foundationally we need to go after, we also got to be nimble enough to react to season 2 feedback and make sure that we're continually just listening and learning. So it's happening. It's just going to take a little bit longer than I think most people would like. But sure. Hey, I'm impatient too. I would love a ton of maps and modes tomorrow. I'd play the heck out of them. But I know, I also want to make sure the team has the space to do the work they need to do in a healthy manner and it's sustainable for the future.
So I have one more curveball question for you. I didn't prep you on this, so I apologize. So why are we removing the tank gun from the game, Ske7ch?
I knew that was going to be a little bit contentious. I mean, I would want to ask the campaign designers specifically. I don't want to speak for them.
Sure.
My assumption is that, I know that they recognized the issue right after the game shipped, and it was. I have to imagine for someone who has spent that many hours and that many years, frankly, crafting those experiences, that it probably doesn't feel good to see everyone kind of cheesing your experiences, right? So, on one hand, you could argue, yeah, it's like a victimless crime. Like, does it really matter? I'm always going to kind of be in favor of can we just let the players have some fun? But I also respect the design, the integrity of the design intent and the experience that they want to craft. I can't promise anything, but I have at least been poking could it ever come back, or could it become a skull at some point? Is there a way to make it official? And for right now, they're like, hey, we got a long list of stuff that we're prioritizing, but we might get back to that. I am told, though, if you have the tank gun in a save state already, you'll be able to hold on to it. So there's, you got a little more time to quickly go do that if you haven't already.
Absolutely, and I did get my lasso achievement already, so I'm good. I'm just going to chill here.
So you cheesed it.
We don't need to talk about that, Ske7ch. It's okay. But no, seriously, Ske7ch, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the event, the rest of the weekend, and I hope you have safe travels back home as well.
Yeah, thanks so much. And really, I appreciate all the work you guys do for the community as well. I'm glad we ran into each other out here. Thanks for having me on, and I hope I see you at future events.
Awesome. Thank you so much.